Hi class, welcome to week 4. We have a lot of important information going on this week, and therefore I'm going to actually split up my lecture into 2 PowerPoints. The first one will be about outlining, and then the next one will be about creating the body of your speech, creating the introduction and conclusion. So first, let's talk about the parts of the outline. So what are the parts of the outline? The good thing about this class, I actually give what I like to call a skeleton outline for you. So a lot of what I'll be talking about right now, if you use the outline presented, there should be no problem at all. You should have everything that you need. So the first part's the introduction. The introduction is the opening to grab the audience's attention and focus on the topic. Like I said earlier, I will be going deeper into how to create an introduction in the next PowerPoint. Now, what you want to think about though for the introduction, how are you going to grab the audience's attention? This week's informative speech that I'm going to have you look at how they grab the attention. They do a pretty unique job of that. And then after you do that, then you want to think about the information in the body of the speech. So the body contains the central portion of the speech. The main points, they are essential ideas you must cover or the main claims you wish to make, and they directly relate to your central idea, your thesis statement. Most speeches have between 2 and 5 of them. The subpoints, they offer information to support and relate back to the main point. And then the links make logical jumps between 2 places in your speech, also called a transition. And then finally, the conclusion. It ends your speech, takes one last moment to reinforce your main ideas. You also want to think about how are you going to wow your audience? When I teach this in a brick and mortar classroom, I always tell my students you don't want to have that slow clap where no one knows you're done. Signal your ending and then wow us in your conclusion. You also may need a source page. I say may because probably the first couple introductory speeches, you're not going to have sources. However, your informative and your persuasive speech, definitely. So just as you do a persuasive essay, an informative essay, a source page will be included at the end of your preparation outline. HACK requires MLA, so I won't be talking about APA in this outline. I'll just only be talking about the MLA requirements. So now that you know the basics, how can you create an effective outline? That's what we'll be talking about next. So the first thing is, include your topic, specific purpose, and central idea at the top. Now, like I said, you won't be forgetting this because I do it for you. I give specific sections in every one of your outlines where you're going to tell me what the topic is, what your specific purpose is, and what the central idea or the thesis statement are. This will help you create the rest of your outline. So you want to think about that keep all of these elements at the forefront of your mind, and then that'll help everything else flesh out and relate to each other. Full sentences force you to think in complete thoughts, and it'll help you learn the speech as well as gauge its length. So for example, this is an incorrect main point, the beginning of football. Doesn't tell me anything. This is much better. The game of football has come a long way since its beginnings. Now I know exactly what you're talking about. Cover one issue at a time. This keeps the speech simple enough for delivery and will keep you from writing the speech as a manuscript. There are 4 ways you can present a speech. Manuscript, which is when you're writing it out word for word. Memory, which is just how it sounds, you memorize. Impromptu, which we won't be doing in here. It's when I give you a topic and in the classroom and then everyone has a minute and then they do an impromptu speech. Or extemporaneous. That's what you're doing in here. You are having key sentences that tell me that help you so that you have eye contact, you're not reading, you don't sound monotonous. So this is incorrect. The city of Jackson needs to institute a plan to decrease the number of, I can't even read that. There's so much going on. This is much better. This shows me exactly what you're doing, but you're not going to read it. So then after that, then you're going to develop the introduction and conclusion. Like I said, I'll be going into more detail on this in the next presentation. Um, you want to create the introduction and conclusion after the body. Therefore, for the next PowerPoint, I'm actually going to go into detail about creating the body first and then creating the introduction and conclusion, because that's exactly what I want you to do when you're going to be developing your own speech. Avoid improvising. This can lead to anxiety. Make sure that you have your speech really prepared and planned out. Again, extemporaneous speaking is key here. And then you're going to use the correct outline format. Now, again, I'm giving this to you, so you will be distinguishing your main points based on the outline that I have in D2L. You will have the pattern of symbols correct because they are already in there. So you'll be able to use a consistent pattern pretty easily using the outline I have provided. So here's an example of alignment. You can align the points of your outline. Each new division should be indented and separated. So you want to use balance. Remember what I said in the other lecture. The specific purpose is what you want to have accomplished in your speech. So this one, to inform my audience about the National Football League. And then each main point coordinates with each other. A brief history. It comes a long way from the beginning today. We'll talk about patterns in the next presentation, but just so you know, they are using chronological order here. And then you want to imply subordination. So an easy statement that comes under a point must not be equal to or greater importance than the point directly above it, just like this example here. An easy test is to read the main point and then mentally insert because, since, for, and then read the subpoint. If doing so makes a logical connection, then the subpoint is subordinate. Plan out your formal links. Include links between each major part. These are transitions. You want to transition between each point to help us flow through your speech. And again, use proper citations. So example in MLA style, the NFL has come a long way, and then you see the author right there. And then you want to incorporate it into your text. According to Dave Omsky and PJ Harari in their, so and so forth, you don't just cite it on your outline, you cite it in the speech itself. There are a couple different types of outlines you will be doing in this class. I won't be seeing all of them, so that's a good thing. I will just be grading 2 of them. The first one is the working outline. This is your draft. Working outlines are usually handwritten, but for this class, obviously online, you'll be typing these out. They organize your thoughts as you progress through the early stages. They formulate and record your topic, your general and specific purpose, and your central idea. They also create your potential main points as questions. The working outline will not be as graded as harshly as the next outline, the preparation outline. Preparation outlines are full sentence outlines because they are much longer and more detailed. They're typed, double-spaced, formatted in a specific and consistent way, and they're handed in the week of your presentation. So this one will be graded much harsher. The delivery outline I will never see. Delivery outline is what you will use during your speech. They usually have delivery and presentation hints such as pause here, slow down, smile, vary pitch. I will never see that. That is for your benefit only. So what can you use to link the parts of your speeches together? I want to briefly talk about transitions. And then in the next PowerPoint, you'll learn about what you are transitioning from. So transitions are that's what you use to link the parts of your speech together. A transition is a word or phrase signaling the movement from one point to the other. Specific types of transition include time transitions. Time transitions are words or phrases that demonstrate a passing of time. You also have viewpoint transitions. These are transitions that demonstrate a change in a view or situation. Connectives, they simply relate thoughts together. They unite related thoughts. In addition, moreover, and so on. Finally, concluding transitions, they're great. They signal the end of a section and tell you that you're ending the entire speech. I always tell students, I don't mind if you use in conclusion to summarize. That's a perfect way to let us know you're ending. You can also use signposts. If you do a demonstration speech in here, that's one of the types of informative speeches you can do. You might want to use signposts. First, you do this step. Then you do this step. There are works or phrases that signal to the audience where in order they go through. So you can go ahead and look at these internal previews. You can you can pause these and take a look at how you will be doing this type of information. Internal previews, this is some good examples right here. Internal reviews. Again, you can pause these to see what you would like to use. And what you can do is you can actually combine internal previews and reviews with the transition. Again, here's some examples here. Finally, how do you cite the sources in your outline? I'm going to go through this rather quickly, but again, you can pause any of this information. MLA citations, like I said, I'm just going to give you examples of MLA citations. So just go through these slides and again, pause them to see how you would want to put these into your own presentation. Here's different authors. We know page numbers available. No authors identified. And then finally, once you're done, create your source page. So just MLA is works cited. You're not using APA, so works cited will be at the top of your page. And then create the proper entries for each source. Again, I'm not going to go through all these, but here's just some examples. All right, so what you want to think about now going forward is you want to look at the next presentation. The next presentation, like it says here, will have 2 different PowerPoints. You also went over the outlining. Now you're going to learn how to create the body and create the intro. Why does the body come first? That'll be discussed in the next PowerPoint.